Hello, my name is Caden Dykes, and today I'm here to talk to you about my persuasive speech. So let's get right into it. All right. Life is full of choices. Some make us happy, some lead to regret, while others may be the most complex decisions ever faced. Imagine being 29 years old in the prime of your life when you are told by a doctor that you have an incurable brain cancer with only 6 months left to live. In this moment, those problematic decisions must be made. Friends and loved ones may be urging you to fight, make the most of it, but the ugly truth is staring you right in the face. The doctor said chances of survival are zero. There is no cure and you will die. Terminal illness is a difficult struggle for many people and their families. While most do not like to talk about it, death is inevitable to all of us. Oftentimes, these types of patients have a prolonged death filled with pain and misery. Should one be given the decision to decide how his or her life will end? A solution to the controversial question is physician-assisted suicide. Today, I will persuade you that assisted suicide should be legal. Imagine this: a beautiful 3-story beige home sitting on an island of green grass surrounded by a beautiful horseshoe lake of clear, amber-colored water. This glorious haven also features a floating dockhouse complete with a wraparound deck and full-service wet bar to be used for relaxing days of fishing or just laying out in the sun. This is your home, your safe haven, the one place where you are at peace. Now consider the alternative. Doctors' offices and hospitals being your second home. The rooms are cold, bright, noisy, and you may even have a roommate, which means minimal privacy. Doctors, nurses, aides, housekeepers coming in constantly, alarms sounding off at all hours of the night. There are wires attached everywhere on your body, and it feels as if someone is constantly coming in to try and stick you with a needle. You have become a living science experiment. Is this even living? Which scenario would you choose? Death with Dignity is an act that passed in Oregon in 1994. It states that anyone over 18 years of age with a terminal illness reserves the right to take doctor-prescribed medications that will ultimately end their life. The disease they are diagnosed with must be incurable or irreversible and will most likely produce death within 6 months. In the United States, Oregon, Vermont, Washington, and California have legalized physician-assisted suicide, or PAS. Mentally competent patients must make witness verbal and written requests for the medication from the prescribing physician and notify their primary care doctor. Autonomy, the patient's right to make decisions regarding their treatment, could rightfully be considered the driving force behind choosing physician-assisted suicide. Some of the reasons patients have chosen physician-assisted suicide were loss of dignity, inability to enjoy activities, and loss of autonomy. Veracity, which means truth, is also a huge factor in these situations. The patients choosing this route must be fully aware of the implications and outcomes of taking these medications. They must be mentally competent to make this decision and fully educated regarding their disease process and available alternatives. An issue identified from the research of the abuse of physician-assisted suicide is coercion. An insurance company in Oregon allegedly denied patients cancer treatment but approved coverage for assisted suicide. Justice, treating people fairly, can also be considered what is fair and just about a complete stranger making a life-altering decision for someone. Beneficence means to do no harm to patients, care for them, and provide for their safety. One could argue that participating in assisted suicide violates the ethical principle because the end result is death of the patient. However, it can be argued that allowing a patient to choose not to suffer provides for his or her care or safety. Patients in these fragile states deserve thorough research of outcomes and complete transparency when faced with these decisions. Brittany Maynard, a 29-year-old from California, made her battle with terminal brain cancer very public. She posted videos and messages on social media about the progression of her cancer and some of her symptoms. She made the choice to move to Oregon and take advantage of the Death with Dignity law. Brittany took meds to end her life November 1st, 2014. Her story triggered my interest into physician-assisted suicide, Some terminal illnesses, especially cancers, lead to miserable, painful deaths. These types of patients often experience deliberating headaches, irretractable vomiting, seizures, and personality changes that cause them to be almost unrecognizable. Who am I to judge someone choosing not to experience the horrendous effects of some of these diseases? I do believe that a person should be very educated and informed about their decision. I absolutely agree that assisted suicide should only be allowed for those who have terminal illnesses that will result in death in a short period of time. At the end of the day, all patients have the right to choose their treatment, regardless of how their caregivers or family members feel about their choice. I hope I never have to see any of my loved ones deal with this type of terminal illness that would cause one to consider ending their life so early. I think I speak for everyone when saying that we all hope this kind of issue never makes an appearance in our lives, but what if it does? Would you want the ability to choose your path? Thank you for listening.